The previous class we are doing the chapter mutual funds, in which we completed I think two problems, question number 4 and then question number 6. Today we will be continuing and completing this chapter mutual funds. So that Thursday we will be completing the chapter mergers and acquisition along with the currency futures, which we have not discussed, left in the derivative segment, very regularly asked. So we'll be completing the currency futures and mergers in the Thursday's class. Saturday and Sunday we'll be doing that extra chapter which has been added in the workbook, namely the chapter called as Greeks. We'll be doing on Saturday and Sunday. Effectively, from examination viewpoint, till now, if we have seen the syllabus, we'll be completing it on Thursday itself, whatever required for the examination. Greeks has not yet been asked till now in exams, and in study material also problems have not been discussed in this concept called as Greeks. Only small changes. Earlier study material had 4 or 5 lines given for the Greeks. New study material had a 3/4 of page given for the Greeks. Okay, that is the number of wordings has increased, but still no problem have been given. But when they increase the wordings and discuss about that in the material, there is a good chance that it may be asked in the future attempts. If not in the current attempt, it may be asked in the future attempts. Hence, we just don't want to take a chance, so we'll be discussing the Greeks in the Saturday and Sunday's class. So now, let us summarize what has been discussed in the mutual fund before I proceed further. See, mutual fund accepts money from the public, and for that it allots some units. All of you concentrate, accept money from the public, for which it allots some units. And the money accepted will be invested in securities. The securities can be a listed shares, it may be an unlisted equity share, may be a listed bond, unlisted bond, government securities, it may be even be private equity, a joint venture, anywhere they can invest the money. Okay, and these securities will generate return. The return will be in form of interest or dividends. It may be in form of realized capital gain, or third in the form of unrealized capital gains. When I invest in shares etc. of the companies and debentures of the companies, I'll be getting what? Dividend and then interest, which goes to the credit of the mutual funds P&L account. Similarly, we will be getting, will be selling the securities, made a bought up for 800 rupees, sold for 1000. We may be making gain on the sale of security, which we call as realized capital gain. Apart from that, I might have purchased the security for 800. Now it will be trading at 1200. I might not have been sold it. This is called as an unrealized capital gain. All this will be giving the gain for the unit holders. Next, the mutual fund every day calculates something called as NAV, net asset value. As if the mutual fund is wound up today, they will calculate the value. From that, they will net off all the outside liabilities. The net number only we call as NAV, net asset value. When we value the securities, listed securities should be taken at the market price. Unlisted security should be taken at the fair value or market price, whichever is lower. And some listed securities, I just forgot to say, which is trading in the market not so well. It is having only small volume trading. In that case, we can just take the fair value or market price, whichever is lower. Liquid assets should be taken at the book value. All these are the value of the assets. Minus outside liability gives you the net asset value. Divided by number of shares gives you NAV per share. The question is, or NAV per unit. The question is, why should we require NAV? It is a very, very important data. How we have a share price, we have the NAV for mutual fund. Somebody asks you, what is the return you have earned from the mutual fund? The percentage return is dividend plus NAV 1 minus NAV 0. That's an appreciation in the unit value divided by NAV 0 gives you the return from the mutual fund. And moreover, there are two types of mutual funds, closed-ended fund and then open-ended fund. There is also something called as exchange-traded fund. We'll discuss it later. So mainly two types, open-ended and then closed-ended fund. In case of closed-ended fund, it is like a company only. How company issues shares and then you buy it, and you cannot redeem the shares with the company. You can only buy and sell in the open market. Like the closed-ended fund issues units, IPO issues what? Units in the beginning of the fund, and you give them money, they allot you the units. Once it is allotted, then you have to buy and sell units only in the secondary market, in the stock exchange. You cannot go and say redeem with the company or get new units from the company. The money which you are given, the company will be investing for some period. It may be 7 years, 10 years, etc. At the end of the 10th year, the fund will close and they will be returning back the money at the NAV present at the end of the 10th year. In between, if you want to go out of the fund, you can only do it in the secondary market, is also discussed. And the SEBI has given two options for a closed-ended fund. You list your units with the stock exchange, or at least give them an exit route by saying some periodic redemption at that particular day's NAV, is what we discuss in the closed-ended fund. But more popular and interesting is the open-ended fund. In open-ended fund, what happens is the fund starts with the IPO. Starts with what? IPO. Suppose IPO is for 1 lakh units. Through the fund life, will it be for 1 lakh units? No. What happens is daily unit holders will go to the fund, sell the units, and go to the fund, buy the units. They'll be buying and selling. Okay. And when they buy the units from the mutual fund, the fund allots units and they'll be giving them the money. And when they sell, the fund will be redeeming the units and giving their money back. At what rate? At the NAV prevailing on the previous day's close, they'll be doing this particular purchase or redemption. He is also discussed in case of open-ended fund. Open-ended fund, the liabilities side units will not be constant. It will be daily changing up and down. When the market is buoyant, when everybody wants to invest, the number of units will increase. The fund size will become bigger for the investment. If the market is sluggish, what happens? The number of they will be starting to redeem and book the bearish market will book the profit or not. They'll try to redeem the units. Then the fund size becomes smaller. This is what we call as the open-ended mutual fund. Can I put it or not? Now, there's something called as exchange-traded fund. It is now becoming very popular. We'll discuss about that separately in the later stages. Can we start or not? Now, this is what has been discussed in the mutual fund till now. Today, we'll be doing more problems. All these are key problems. We can say 99%. One of these problems only is generally asked in the examination. These chapters are all standardized chapter, very simple also to understand. These problems are only again and again repeated in the examination. Can I put it or not? And these sums can come in either SFM or in the FR examination. So the chapter assumes much more significance. Chapter like valuation of securities, that is the equity valuation on mutual funds, are having the chance of being asked in either of the exam FR or SFM. And the concepts covered is elaborate. Whatever discussed here, only 99% will be coming in the exam. Then 1%, I leave it for uncertainty. Nobody can give you 100% confidence level. So this is the advantage. I can say when you start revising this mutual fund mergers, equity valuation can be revised first before you go for the derivatives or other segments. The reason is this was sure short area as well as simple and easy to understand and do it. Can I proceed or not? Now. So now we have completed, I think, question number 4 and then what? Question number 6. Okay. Now, today how many problems we'll be able to do all depends on how fast you are writing and cooperating. Can I proceed or not? Now, you also will be in hurry to leave the class and complete the batch. Now, so show that urgency not towards me while in what? Writing the solutions. Okay. Now, take question number 7. Take question number 7. Take question number 7. Take question number 7. Okay. Please. Following is the content of an open-ended scheme of a mutual fund which contains 15,000 units on day one. Good morning, friends. Okay, now tell me, this is an open-ended scheme having how many units? 15,000 units. My question is, on day 2, it should be 15,000, can change? Can change. So on day 2, if the redemption is more than what? The new units purchased, number of units will reduce. If the new units is more than the redemption, the number of units will increase. The units will keep on fluctuating. Something similar to open interest in the futures market. Yeah, yes or no? Did the study futures open interest or not? Something similar to the open interest. We are having the units here. Okay, now. Following is the content of open-ended scheme of a mutual fund which contains 15,000 units in day 1. Company J, K and then L. Number of shares 1,000, 2,000, 4,500. Day 1 price ending 49.93, 38.23, 44.07. One data missing, added. Day 2 price. Day 2 price. Just add in the workbook itself. Omitted to be typed. So day 2 price 52.01, 39.56, 45.92. 52.01, 39.56, 45.92. Calculate day 1's NAV. Supposing 1,000 additional units were purchased by investor by day 2 at the day 1's NAV price, and the portfolio manager utilizes entirely for L Limited, find out the NAV on day 2. There is no load on the above scheme. Okay, I'll tell you what is load after the problem has been completed. There is no load in the above scheme. Can we start doing the solution or not? No. Exam question has been asked twice in the examination, the same type of problem. Okay, not same problem, but the same type of problem has been asked twice in the examination. Can we start or not? Now, tell me, this mutual fund, in the liability side of it, is having how many units? Solupa. How many units is that? 15,000 units. And these units would have given some fund to the mutual fund or not? These fund has been invested in debentures, Government of India bonds, equity shares, equity shares. They have been invested in how many company shares? 3 company shares. And at the end of the day 1, how many shares you are holding? 1,000, 2,000, 4,500. These shares are liabilities, assets. Assets. And these shares are trading at the end of day 1 at how much price? 49.93, 38.23, 44.07. At the end of the day 1, if I wind up the mutual fund, can I sell these shares or not? Yes. What is the value of the shares? The number of shares into the day 1 price. That if you divide by how many units? 15,000 units gives you the day 1 ending NAV. Respond is or no? Now, this is all the ending price. You have to understand it. Can I put or not? Now, next. On day 2, when the mutual fund opened, it found out an investor, a redemption person, investor. He wanted to purchase how many units? 1,000 units. When he wants to buy the 1,000 units, he will give money to mutual fund, get money back, give money. How much should he give? 1,000 units into what NAV? Day 2 NAV or day 1 NAV? Day 1 NAV. On the next day, the units will be redeemed or allotted at the what? NAV on the previous day's close. Everybody respond yes or no? No. On that basis, it is going to be received. Okay. Then that money will be invested in which company? Security L. At what price? At the day 1 ending price. We believe that the market closed on day 1, opened on day 2 at the same price only, and then you have to find out the day 2 NAV. Can we start doing the solution together or not? More clarity will be obtained as we start doing the solution. Can I proceed? Now, write down question number 7. Question number 7. Put a colon and write NAV of. Question number 7. Put a colon and write NAV of open-ended fund. NAV of open-ended fund. Most of the sums will do it together rather than discussing and then copying. Let us do it together. Where you have a doubt, stop and ask me immediately. Okay. NAV of open-ended scheme. NAV of open-ended scheme. Can we start or not? No. Step 1. Calculation of day 1 NAV. Step 1. Calculation of day 1 NAV. Step 1. Calculation of day 1 NAV. Calculation of day 1 NAV. Can I proceed? No. Company shares, market price per share, market value. Company shares, market price per share, and then market value. Okay, answer me. At the end of day 1, the mutual fund is having its money invested in how many companies? 3 companies. Please write their name JKL. JK and then L. How many shares it is holding in this company? 1,000, 2,000, 4,500. Number of shares held is 1,000, 2,000, 4,500. Market price per share at the end of day 1 is how much? 49.93, 38.23, 44.07. 49.93, 38.23, 44.07. Multiply 1000 into 49.93 gives you how much rupees? 49,930. 49,930. 2000 into 38.23 gives you 76,460. 76,460. Third is 4,500 into 44.07, 1,98,315. 198,315. What is the total market value of the mutual fund? How many days? 3,24,705. 3,24,705. The total market value 324,705. This is the fund value for how many units underlying it? 15,000 units. What is the NAV per unit? 324,705 divided by 15,000. NAV is 324,705 divided by 15,000. What is the NAV? 21.65 per unit. NAV is 21.65 per unit. NAV 21.65 per unit. Everybody yes or no? Now, this is a NAV when? At the end of the day 1. Every day when the fund closes, they'll publish their NAV. This is a very, very important number because in the next day, the fund will purchase units or sell units only at this particular NAV of 21.65. Ennappa right or not? No. So, can I proceed further? Next. Step 2. Number of shares of L Limited purchased. Number of shares or L Limited purchase. Number of shares of L Limited purchase. Number of shares of L Limited purchased. Everybody, can I start or not? Now, first of all, tell me, day 2, any new money came to the fund? Yes. There's a person who is purchasing how many units? 1,000 units. The fund will allot the 1,000 units at what NAV? 21.65. The fund will pay money, get money, get money. How much check the fund will be receiving? 21.65 into 1,000 gives how much? 21,650. This 21,650 money the fund is receiving on the morning of the day 2 or not? From the new investor. You put in pocket, put in market. Market. Market which share? L Limited share. At what price? At the price prevailing at that time. Yes or no? No. Understand that when the market opens, it is not that last day closing price will be this day's opening price. It is not so. But nothing, the price will be almost nearer only. Everybody follow what I am saying? Nothing said means we assume that day 1 closing price is the day 2 opening price. That's the first transaction happened at that particular price. Everybody understanding or not? Now, let us proceed further. Write down. Amount invested by investor. Right, amount invested by investor, 1,000 into 21.65. Amount invested by investor, 1,000 into 21.65. 1,000 into 21.65. Tell me the number how many days? 21,650. 1000 into 21.65, 21,650. Can I put it or not? Next. Number of shares purchased. Number of shares purchased. What is the market price of share of L when I go to purchase? 44.07. So it is 21,650 divided by 44.07. Now day 1 ending price assumed to be the day 2 opening price. Instead of 44.07. How many shares are purchased? 491 shares. Number of shares purchased 491 shares. Can I proceed? Last step. Step 3. Calculation of day 2 NAV. Calculation of day 2 NAV. Calculation of day 2 NAV. Can I start now? Company shares, market price per share, market value. Company shares, market price per share, and then market value. What are the 3 companies? JKL. Okay, company JKL. Can you start down? How many shares I am holding in J? I continue to hold how many shares? 1000 shares. Neither new shares purchased nor old shares sold. 1000 shares. Now the price has become from 49.93 to how much? 52.01. That's the appreciation in the investment value. 52.01. Tell me what is the amount? 52,010. Amount is 52,010. K. How many shares of K having? 2000 shares. The market price has appreciated from 38.23 to 39.56. So tell me what is the market value of the company K shares? 79,120. The market value is 79,120. L, I am having 4,500, more than that. How much am I having? 4,991. Because a new mutual fund investor gave me money which I invested in what? L, additionally 491 shares. At what price? Now it is trading at the day end, 45.92. All investment have appreciated like today's scenario. Sensex is increasing or not? No. So tell me what is the market value? 2,29,186. 2,29,186. Okay, can I proceed? Total market value of all the investment. Total market value. What is the money here? 3,60,317. 3,60,316. Okay, 3,60,317. You can make a change as it is. 1 rupee will not make a change. 3,60,317. Now tell me, this is the value shared by how many units? 15,000 units are more than that. More than that. 1,000 new units has been what? Allocated. It will be divided by how many units? 16,000. Write down NAV is equal to 360,317 divided by NAV is equal to 3,60,317 divided by how many units? 16,000. 316,317 divided by 16,000. What is NAV? 22.52. NAV is equal to 22.52. NAV is equal to 22.52. Everybody, are you following or not? No. With this, the problem has been completed. I regularly ask question for around 6 marks in the examination. Tell me simple or difficult? Simple. All the problems will be looking in the same simplified manner only. This is a very, very easy chapter. Can I proceed or not? No. So now we are doing, if you see the heading, problem on NAVs. We are doing the problem on what? NAV. Question number 4 is a very simple, straightforward NAV calculation. Question number 6, we calculate NAV given the value of the assets. You have to calculate and do it. And 7, we did the NAV for an open-ended fund. Any kind of person or not? No. Take question number 5. That is also NAV problem only. Take question number 5. It is also NAV of open-ended fund. It is also NAV of open-ended fund. Please. Shh. Never? Oh, okay. See, what happens is, in mutual fund, this investor is giving the fund 21,650. Correct? At 21.65 NAV, the fund gave 1,000 units. That is, the entire money given is given as units. Right or not? Now, see, what happens is, Open-ended fund generally charge load for entering the fund as well as what? Coming out of the fund. They are doing the redemption and then what? The units allotment. Yes or no? No. I'll say there is a problem for a mutual fund, that too open-ended fund. See, today I go to yesterday I purchase a units. Today I go and say I want the units redeemed. I understand they won't give the check today itself. They'll be giving the check what? Tomorrow or 2 days at least they'll be taking the check to be given. But any day, no problem. But when you ask them the money, they have to sell the share and give the money. If the unit holder say, I want to redeem my units, you go to the fund directly, redeem the units. Then how can they redeem the units? They have to have the money or not. What they do? They liquidate the investment because the fund is becoming smaller. They have to sell the investments and then redeem the unit. Suppose next day some other person say, I give you money, invest in units. Invest in what unit? Suppose one day the units are increasing. What they will do? They have to buy their share. That means the fund has to sell the share, buy the share, sell the share, buy the share. They'll be incurring some brokerage or not. They'll be having some brokerage commission, but they'll be having effective brokerage because we saw quasi-arbitrage. But still, they have to incur what? Some brokerage and all. So always fund likes to have their money stable. They want to have their money what? Stable. New money comes in, they're happy. They don't want to redeem units. Everybody is no, because they want to manage huge portfolios. So what they do is, in order to avoid frequent redemption and all, they'll put a load. They put what? A load, saying that if you want to redeem, I will not give you the entire money. I'll cut down what? 0.5% or 1% of the process and give you only the balance. Are you following? Now, in that case, what happens is, if you frequently go and buy and sell, etc., you'll be incurring load from your side. There is a brokerage they're passing on to you in a different manner. Everybody says, no, this we call as entry load as well as what? Exit load. Entry load, when you buy, when you give them 21,650 check, they suppose they charge 1% as what? Load. That means what happens is 21,650 into 1% gives how much here? 216 rupees. Now, they'll deduct 216 rupees. Balance amount only will be as an investment. For that, units will be allotted. More units or less units are less units. Please tell me, yes or no? No. Exit load, when they sell your units and there is a money to be given, what they will do? They deduct some load and give you only what? The balance check. It is called as what? Exit load. So the load can be of two types, entry load as well as what? Exit load. Entry load is levied at the time of entering the fund. Exit load at the time of what? Coming out of the fund. Everybody yes or no? No. SEBI has made from year 2010 onwards one rule that no fund should charge an entry load. It is an investment. No fund should be charging what? Entry load. But exit load, fund are allowed to charge because they are only redeeming by paying brokerage or not. So exit load is allowed. But now onwards, funds and all are competing with each other to get the money. So most of the funds are doing it with what? The loads itself. It is a marketing gimmick only. Say they will do away the load, but they adjust somewhere else in the NAV. Everybody are following what I am saying. But still, load is not what? Straight away now levied. Load, they can levy exit load, but now funds are all due to competition to attract investors are now dispersing away with what? The concept of load. Everybody following not. And there's another fund called as exchange traded fund, a very complex way of operating the fund. We'll discuss it later. There it is becoming much more cheaper and more efficient way of investing. We'll discuss that later. But now tell me, are you understanding the concept of load or not? So tell me, what is load? The charge made by the fund to its unit holder. When they charge it, when you enter the fund they charge, it is called as what? Entry load. When they come out, it is called as what? Exit load. When you enter the fund, suppose you invest 21,650 rupees with the fund, will they allot the units for the entire amount? No. In that, suppose 1% they charge, 216 rupees will be taken as what? Load, and the balance amount only the units will be allocated. Similarly, exit load, when you come out, they will not be giving you the full redemption value, they will be deducting some amount towards load and then giving it. Today's world, SEBI has done away with what? The entry load as well as the exit load for mutual funds. Everybody are you understanding or not? Now, with this we have completed question number 7. Now, take question number 5. Take roll number 5. It is study material problem. It is, I think it is practice manual problem. Question number 5. Okay. Now, Calculate today's NAV of a flexi fund in the if the following details are given. Yesterday's NAV 12.8700, total number of outstanding units 1.25 crores, face value 10. Expenses rupees 1 lakh. Assume sales NAV and repurchase NAV to be 12.87. Because when you have a load, they purchase from you at a lower price and sell to you at a higher price to take into account the load. It's only like a bid rate and offer rate. Here both NAV assumed to be same. Appreciation portfolio value today 12 lakhs. Units fresh subscription 2 lakhs. Unit redemption 0.75 lakhs. Dividend received 1 lakh. Now they ask you to calculate the day 2 NAV. Just 1 minute time I will give you. Please read the question. Find out what to do before you start doing the solution. Please read the question quickly. Can I proceed now? Let's start doing the sum. Again, simple sum only. Can you do it together or not? Now. See. Write down. Calculation of NAV. This is also like the last sum only. Question number 5. Calculation of NAV of open-ended fund. Calculation of NAV of open-ended fund. If anybody doesn't understand, stop and ask me any problem. Okay, calculation of open-ended fund. I can say only out of these 12 or 13 sums, we are having how many sums in the workbook? Okay, we are having something around 18 sums. In which 3 or 4 sums are repeated times. Around this 12 or 13 sums only, one of the question will be asked in this chapter in the mutual fund. Past trend indicates, okay, all the varieties are covered, okay. So this chapter, if you do last class and this class, around 7 to 8 marks is assured. Are you following up? No. So calculation of NAV of open-ended fund. Please. Shh. Opening value. Today morning the open-ended fund opened with how many units? Tell me how many units? 1.25 crores or 125 lakh units. The fund is having how many units? 125 lakh units. And how much NAV? Opening NAV? 12.87. So the fund opened at 125 lakh units at 12.87 NAV. This is the NAV on the previous day close, which will be used throughout this particular day for purchasing and selling units. Respond, yes or no? No. Tell me the fund opened with the value of how many lakhs? 1608.75 lakhs. So understand that all the numbers I am writing in lakhs. I am writing the numbers in lakhs. You want, if you see in top right, it lakhs. Okay, the numbers are written in lakhs. Can I proceed or not? No. Next. Rumba simple. What happens is, what is a day end NAV? Ask or not? Now, day beginning is the fund opening. What would happen? Some units would have been redeemed, where the money goes out. Some units would have been purchased, where the money will be what? Coming in. Apart from that, you pay for what? Expenses. And you also receive what? Dividend, interest, other amounts. These are all outflows and then what? Inflows. And what is already there, shares, will be having what? Increased value. All this adjust. You are just finding out the opening balance sheet, closing balance sheet. Given the opening balance sheet value, I adjust all the amount to find out the closing number on the end of the day. Respond, yes or no? No. Can I start or not? First. Fund increase due to fresh units. New unit holders are giving check to me today. Okay, fund increase due to fresh units. Fund increase due to fresh units. Don't ask me, sir, how that check can be realized today itself. If it is not realized today, it will be shown as what? Receivables. That is also going to be part of forming out of NAV. Kadapa. Sir, redeem, that is when I redeem, sir, will the check be, say, encash shown itself? No, it will be shown as what? Payables, minus all outside liabilities. In the parial following not? No. I think we all know double entry or not? Accrual system. Can I say? No. Next is fund increase due to fresh units. How many fresh units are issued? Tell me how many units? 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs when I issue 2 lakhs fresh units, they give me money or not? I allot at how much rupees? 12.87. The previous day ending NAV. Yes or no? Tell me. 2 lakhs into 12.87. 2 lakhs into 12.87. Can tell me how many units? Sorry, how much rupees here? 25.74 lakh rupees. Is the fresh money coming into the fund. It increases the fund value. What about 25.74? Now, is there any decrease in fund value? Yes. Some units are what? Redeemed. Tell me, fund decrease due to redemption of units. Fund decrease due to redemption of units. Fund decrease due to redemption of units. How many units given back, redeemed? 0.75. For that to give the money back or not? How much at what rate? 12.87. 0.75 lakhs into 12.87. What is the money going out of the fund? Minus 9.65. It increases the asset, decreases asset, decreases asset, and it has been reduced. Can I proceed or not? Now. Next is dividend received. They have invested in so many shares, some would have declared dividend and today may be receiving it. Tell me what is the dividend amount received? 1 lakh. It is given, it is 1 lakh. It will increase my asset or decrease the increase. Any income received increases the cash or cash equivalents, it increases my asset. Next is what? Appreciation in portfolio value. I had some shares held, that shares price have increased during the day, the portfolio value has increased. Given, what is the appreciation in portfolio value? 12 lakh. It increases asset value or decreases or increases the asset value. Now, I have to meet daily expenses in the fund or not? Tell me, what is the expenses of the fund during the day? It is 1 lakh. Expenses given, it is how much rupees? 1 lakh. Expenses is 1 lakh. It should be reduced. I forgot it. Right? Minus 1 lakh. The expenses should be reduced. Right? Minus 1 lakh. Expense rate minus 1 lakh. Everybody accept or not? No. The closing fund value. The end of the day, the fund closed at 1608.75 plus what? 25.74 minus 9.65 plus 1 plus 12 minus 1. Please make that change. What number it is? 1636.84. The closing fund value is 1636.84. And this is the value of fund for how many units? He said 125 lakh units are more than that, more than that. I have issued 2 lakh more units, but ready to what? 0.75 lakh. So the number of units is 125 lakhs plus 2 lakhs minus 0.75 lakhs is the number of units. 125 plus 2 minus 0.75. How many units? 126.25 lakh units. This is the number of units, 126.25 lakh units. Something similar to in futures market, open interest changes every day or not. Like that, the number of units has increased because today more people purchase units in my fund rather than redeem. They had confidence in the fund investment. Can I proceed or not? No. Next is NAV. Closing NAV is 1636.84 divided by 126.25. 1636.84 divided by 126.25. What is the number? 12.9651. It is 12.9651. The closing NAV is 12.9651. 12.9651. Everybody, are you understanding it or not? No. With this, the problem has been completed, which is question number 5 has been over. Now, tell me in all the sums, what you have been doing? We have been calculating the NAV. If you see the learning objectives, the first learning objective is what? Calculation of NAV. Above that only we are doing the sums. Can I proceed or not? Now, next. So, if you want, this you can give it as a heading, part 1. All the 4 sums which you have done, you can just give the heading in the beginning itself, part 1. What is part 1? NAV calculation problems. Part 1 is NAV calculation problems. NAV calculation problems. Okay. If we can take the learning objectives and see the second, what is the second? Yield to the investor. Second is what? Yield to the unit holder. Is the next issue? Yes or no? No. Please. You are holding units in a mutual fund. Here, you are holding units in a mutual fund. Tell me what you earn from the mutual fund. The mutual fund will declare dividend. It will declare what? Dividend. Also, you will be having appreciation in NAV. These two divided by the opening NAV gives you the percentage return you are earning. Ennappa, right or not? No. So, can I go to the next point or not? Now, the next slot is what? Calculating the yield for the investors in the mutual fund. Is the second stage of discussion. Can we start or not? No. Please. Okay. See. I just want to have once again a clarity. This discussion is already made. Again, I just reinforce 1 or 2 extra points and then go for the problems. Okay. See. About mutual fund structure, let me tell first. Okay. Why mutual fund operates, and I'll tell you about a structure very briefly without going into too much legalities inside it, and then come back to this discussion and then proceed further. And you can refer the study material for the structure of the mutual fund. I given that in the printed notes also to some extent. Can I proceed or not? Now, see, understand that there are 4 main parties who are involved in the mutual funds. How many parties here? 4 main parties. First of all, understand that mutual fund is a company. Mutual fund is a BOI, AOP or a trust. Always mutual fund is what? A trust. It is getting money from the public in trust for them. It is what? Making the investment. Yes or no? So the mutual fund is what? A trust. It should be always a non-profit organization. Yes or no? No. It should not make profit from its investor. No. So the mutual fund is what? Trust. It's a collective investment scheme. Together we are giving money to somebody for investing. Okay. That is what is a trust. Okay. Now, when there is a trust, there should be somebody who should be creating a trust. There should be what? A sponsor. There should be what? Always a sponsor. That is the sponsor who will be creating what? The trust called as mutual fund. Okay. Now, can I be a sponsor for mutual fund? Rajagopal Mutual Fund, RMF. Tell me. No, not possible, because sponsor should necessarily be a body corporate. There are a lot of net worth requirements that needs to be fulfilled for a person to be sponsor, because public money is involved. You cannot believe Rajagopal to collect money from public and investors. So no. We can have, apart from mutual funds, other private funds can be there, where I can be a fund manager collecting money, managing 300 crores, 400 crores fund and all. That's a different issue, not as a mutual fund. A sponsor. So no. There should be a sponsor who should be necessarily companies. Most of the companies have started what? Mutual fund. So you can have what? SBI mutual fund is there, Birla Sun Life mutual fund is there, Sundaram BNP, Paripas, like they have what? So many mutual funds. Nariya fund irukku. Fund list big. Okay, like a Hanuma tail will be what? Keep on running. Okay, now please. Lot of funds, companies can be eligible to what? Start mutual fund if they satisfy the SEBI requirement. They act as a sponsor and create the trust. Respond. So no. Now, next. There should be trustees. There should be what? Trustees. Okay. There is a watchdog to see whether fund is properly working in the interest of the investor. There should be trustees. Okay. Now, understand that when you collect money from me, you are the mutual fund, I am the public. When you collect money from me, you give me an idea that I'll invest in equity, I'll invest in what? Debt and so on. One should show the scheme and then what? Collect the money. You should not invest in the way which I don't like, or you'll follow what I'm saying. No. There should be somebody who should be ensuring that the fund does not deviate from the schemes. Yes or no? I say I'll invest in debt and get the money from you, and suddenly put in what? Some company shares, or use it for my own company funding. Suppose Birla Sun Life is using all the money to fund what? the Birla projects. Okay, then it is not right. Are you following what I'm saying? Asset allocation scheme is always to be what? Disclosed. And in that case, there should be a person who is watching whether the fund is what? Doing it correctly or not. The trust will be having what? Trustees. Okay, in that, sponsor can nowadays, a sponsor should not be having his linked parties inside what? Trustees. Nobody related to the sponsor should be in the board of trustees. There should be independent persons. SEBI has given again some norms for having what? Trustees. To be a truly independent body. Everybody follow what I am saying? So there's going to be a trustee. They are having two things. One is to ensure that mutual fund is complying with the legal requirements, SEBI requirement or a company law requirement, etc. And it is also what? Ensuring that they invest money as per the scheme which has been promised to the investor. Is the role of the trustee. They are the conscience keepers of the mutual fund. Everybody, are you following what I am saying? Now, next. See, mutual fund is a trust now. Now, mutual fund will not do investment and all. What happens is, and main person is what? Unit holder. Main fund person is what? Units holder. They only give the money to what? Fund. Okay. Now, this money, what happens is, the fund gives it to a person called as AMC. AMC means what? Asset Management Company. Give a person called as what? Asset Management Company. This mutual fund, imagine like a president. Is like what? President. AMC like a prime minister. President or prime minister. Prime minister only does all the things in the name of what? President. Always a council works in the name of what? The president only. Like that. In the name of mutual fund, one person will be doing the entire business. Who is at the asset management company? They only are going to plan how to invest, all the portfolio strategies, hedging strategies, derivative segment, anywhere. They are only going to manage all the investments. Respond yes or no. Now, this should be necessarily a company. Should be necessarily what? Company. It should not be an individual. It should not be what? Individual. It should be an asset management company. In which the sponsor should not have more than 40%. The ceiling might have been changed now and then. You can just refer the study medal, etc. for that. I said I don't go into the legalities. So this asset management company only is the person who is going to manage what? The entire mutual fund show. In the asset management company will be having divisions. Will be having what? Divisions. Okay. One is investment division, which is going to sit and strategize portfolio. We discussed all the strategies, short single index model, efficient, what I can say, market portfolio. We had so much discussion on that. So all those strategies, also technical analysis, we don't discuss that. We discuss only fundamental analysis, looking at the charts and all. The what I say, Dow Jones theory, like so many charts are the candlestick theory, etc. Using all those, they'll make the investment. Experts will be there to make the investment. They'll be done by what? Investment wing or the asset management company. They only tell when to invest, when to come out. All the investments are made by the asset management company on the behalf of the mutual fund. Point number one, respond yes or no. Now, similarly, they'll be having another wing called as marketing wing. What wing? Marketing wing. They have to popularize the units. I opened the fund here, nobody investing, then no need to have a fund. Yes or no? Now, as a fund becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, more efficient it becomes. When I have lot of money to play with, I can play as I want. Yes or no? I have great bargaining power in what? Brokerage dealing. I have ability to influence market, everything. So fund always, a fund performance is based on the fund size. Based on what? Fund size only. As the fund becomes bigger and bigger, it becomes what? Much more better fund. Everybody follow not? In such a case, the fund will be having a separate marketing division which markets the units, market the new schemes, etc. We are coming with the infrastructure scheme. We come with what? Investment in gold. Like that, we come with what? New schemes, and they have to popularize the scheme. You have seen in the TV ads and all, etc. No. So they are going to popularize the mutual fund itself. Will be having a marketing department. Respond. Can I push or not? No. Apart from that, will be having what? Administration. Because fund has to operate day-to-day basis or not. So they should be having an administration wing also. These are the three wings of what? Asset management company. Respond yes or no? No. This asset management company charges a fees. Charges what? Fees for doing all the services. Because somebody is doing investment for you, you have to pay investment fees or not. So for this fees only funds are floated. Otherwise, you may say, sir, why somebody should plan for me all my investments? Question arises or not? Now, we all together appoint a person called as what? AMC and give him some fees. The fees will be generally based on percentage of fund value. Percentage of what? Fund value. As the fund becomes bigger and bigger, the fee will become what? More and more. And there is always a cap fixed by SEBI on the asset management company's fees also. There is going to be the major revenue for what? The asset management company. Everybody following what I am saying? And one more thing is, all the expenses like what? The urbanization, market, etc. will be recovered from the fund. Balance only will become NAV. Yes or no? Don't think that within their fees, all they should be what? Adjusted. Not so. They will adjust all the expenses. Apart from that, one of the expense of mutual fund is what? AMC fees. The balance only will become what? The NAV for calculation. For that only I am explaining all these things. No. So these are all the main parties. Apart from that, there are other parties like registrar will be there, because we have to daily what? Issue and sell units, or somebody should be keeping track of it or not. Like we'll be having other sub-persons which is not required for our main discussion. These are all the main parties regarding the mutual funds. Everybody following or not? Now, see, in a mutual fund, what happens is, I am coming for this only. Say you prepare a P&L account. Prepare what? P&L account. Mutual fund will receive income or not? Tell me some examples of income. Dividend received. Next is what? Interest received. And then what? Profit on sale. Other we call as what? Realized capital gains. You are right. You call it as what? Realized capital gain. Or all the inflows. Now, expense side, you book what? All the operating expenses of running the fund. Fund should be run or not? Employees are there. They're going to have what? Building rent. Everything is there. So it's going to be an operating expense for running the fund. Apart from that, you have to pay what? The asset management company what? The fees. Like that, all under. There's going to be a capital loss also will be there. Loss on sale of investment, etc. The balance is what? The profit available to the mutual fund unit holders. Now, this can be declared as what? Dividend. This is what I call as what? Dividend. This can be declared as a dividend. No. So when this is declared as dividend, the NAV reduces or not? If I don't declare as dividend, it will be remaining as what? Cash and become investment, boost my NAV. Yes or no? If I declare as dividend, the money what? Goes out and the NAV automatically reduces. So when the fund declares dividend, what happens to NAV? Reduces. When the fund does not declare dividend, the NAV is going to remain same. It will be at a higher number because a come dividend NAV respond. Are you follow what I am saying? This you should be understanding it. Okay. Now, in the exam question, they say two types of dividend. Dividend declared from dividends. Dividend declared from what? Realized capital gains. Okay, that is, I receive this income. From this income, dividend declared. I receive also what? Realized capital gain. From this also dividend can be declared. There are two income sources. Yeah, one is what? Revenue income, like what? The dividend and interest. Another is what? Realized capital gain. So from these two amounts, I can declare my dividend. So no, the unit holders can receive the dividend from dividend received from the shares or from what? Realized capital gains. Okay. For our purpose, both we call as what? Dividend only. We don't differentiate. We don't what? Differentiate. Whether dividend is got from the interest received or dividend is got from what? Profit on sale of shares. For me, I don't differentiate it. For me, both are what? Same. In some countries, they differentiate because they have a differential tax treatment. A differential what? Tax treatment. In our country, whatever money they declare as dividend, I don't see from which source it is declared as what? Dividend. For me, it is what? Dividend only. Mutual fund dividends are exempt from what? Tax. That's all, as simple as that. So now tell me, from how many sources dividend can be declared? Two sources. One is what? Dividend and interest received. Another is what? Realized capital gain. For us, the unit holders, both are called as what? Dividend only. We don't need to differentiate between them. Both are going to be the same dividend only. Am I right or not? Now. So now tell me, you are a unit holder. What is that you get from the mutual fund? Tell me, you get from the mutual fund what? Dividend. And also, you are going to have what? Appreciation in NAV. NAV 1 minus what? NAV 0 divided by what? NAV 0 into 100 is what we call as what? The yield to the unit holder. Response is or no? No. Suppose they don't declare dividend, the NAV will be what? Higher. If they declare dividend, NAV can become lower. That's only change. And this is how one should calculate the yield to the investor. Response is or no? No. Okay, tell me, in mutual fund P&L account, what all the income possible? Interest, dividend, realized capital gain. Debit side, what all the expenses? Operating expenses to run the mutual fund, fees and all paid to experts like asset management companies, and the loss or the under that is realized capital loss, etc. If I adjust it, what I get is what? The profit of the mutual fund. From that they can declare dividend or may not declare dividend. If they declare dividend, then the dividend can be classified into two types: dividend declared from dividend declared from realized capital gains. For us both are what? Dividends. We need not differentiate between the two. When dividend is declared, NAV falls. When dividend is not declared, NAV is stable or it increases. What is the formula for yield calculation? Dividend plus NAV1 minus NAV0 divided by NAV0 into 100 is a return from a mutual fund unit. How we have share law? What is the return? Dividend plus P1 minus P0 divided by P0 naught. How we found it in portfolio theory? Same way this is going to be the mutual fund return calculated. I want you to respond. Are you following or not? No. Have this in mind or not? Now, another 4 or 5 some let us do without any further discussion regarding the yield calculation. All are examination sums. Can I proceed? Now, take question number 9. Take question number 9. Same question or same time, I think asked in the previous attempt or the second previous one, I don't remember. Within the last 2 attempts, this question has been asked. A has invested in 3 mutual fund schemes as per the details below. Date of investment given, amount of investment given, entry date NAV, not data alapa, entry date NAV, DATE, entry date NAV, closing date NAV, dividend received till 30th March 2005. Required, what is the effective yield per annum in respect of each of the 3 schemes up to 31st March 2005 is the question. Okay, can we start or not? Now, go to the question before we start with the solution. Shall we start up? Now, tell me, what is the yield to an investor? What is the formula? Dividend plus NAV appreciation divided by beginning NAV into 100. If you are holding the units for less than 1 year, into 12 by number of months held. In by annualized. Number right or not? No. Let's start with the solution. Let's do it together. Items, mutual fund A, mutual fund B, mutual fund C. Items, mutual fund A, B and then C. Mutual fund A, mutual fund B and mutual fund C. Shall we do together or not? Now, all of you involve yourself, tell and write. Amount invested. Okay. You invested how much money in the 3 funds? 50,000, 1 lakh, 50,000. Amount invested 50,000, 1 lakh, 50,000. Okay. When you invested at that time, what was the NAV? Entry date NAV. When you entered at that time, what is the NAV? Please look at the workbook and tell me what is the entry date NAV? 10.5. 10, 10, 10.5, 10 and then 10. They will be allocating units or allotting units based on the entry date NAV or not. When you enter, you gave them a check for how much rupees? 50,000. They will allot you some units or not. How many units allotted? Number of units. 50,000 divided by what? 10.5. How many units allotted? 4761.90. Mutual fund allot units in decimals. Okay, now generally up to 4 decimals are written. We just round it off to 2 here. There is nothing wrong if you write for 4 decimal. That is much more accurate. Okay, it is 4761.90. Mutual fund B, how many units will be allotted? 10,000 units. Mutual fund C, how many units will be allotted? 5,000 units. Can I proceed? Next. Capital gain or loss. Capital gain or loss. For you as an investor, I am speaking. Okay, now tell me, when you entered the fund A, what was NAV? 10.5. At the end of the year today, last day of the year, the NAV is how much? 10.4. We had an appreciation in NAV or erosion? Erosion. How much loss? 0.10 per unit. For every unit, you suffered a loss of 0.10. It is a capital loss for you. So, no 0.10. And for mutual fund B, there's a gain in NAV, a loss, that is, gain. What is the gain here? 0.10. Once again, gain is 0.10. So, mutual fund C, 10 became 9 point, what is the loss? Minus 0.20. So, the time I purchase and at the end of the year, the NAV has gained or loss. This is the issue. Can I proceed? Next. Capital gain or loss amount. It's CG or capital loss amount. Capital gain or loss amount. How many units I am having? 4761.9. Each unit I suffered a fund value erosion. How much paise? 10 paise. What the loss for me? 476.10. 476.10. Okay, but 19. 476.19. Have it. 476.19. 10,000 into 0.1. What is the gain? 1,000. 5,000 into 0.2. The loss is what? 1,000. So this is the gain or loss I had in the NAV front. Yes or no? No. It's nothing but NAV 1 minus NAV 0. No. Next is dividend. Did the fund declare any dividend in the period? Yes. Mutual fund A, how much dividend declared? 950. Fund A gave me 950. Fund B gave me 1,500. Fund C, nothing. Fund C gave me nothing. Can I proceed or not? No. The total return. Capital gain plus dividend. Dividend plus NAV 1 minus NAV 0. No. Tell me, fund A is giving me a return of how much? 950 minus 476.10. What is the number? 473.81. This is what I have earned from this fund in this year. 473.81. Mutual fund B is how much? 2,500. Bumper. Can I proceed? No. Mutual fund C is how much? Minus 1,000. Fund C is minus 1,000. I want to express the return as what? Percentage. This return has been earned on how much investment? 50,000, 1 lakh, 50,000. A dividend will be getting in percentage into 12 by number of months. Gives you the annualized percentage. Right or not? Now, write down. Next. Calculation of annualized yield. Calculation of annualized yield. Calculation of annualized yield. Calculation of annualized yield. Shall I proceed now? Mutual fund A. Mutual fund A. Tell me what is the calculation? 473.81 is the return on how much investment? 50,000 into 100 gives you percentage. Stop. When you enter the fund, tell me, look at the workbook. When you enter the fund, 1st December. That means you are there in the fund in December, January, February, March. This is a 4 months yield. What is annualized yield into 12 by 4? And by yes or no? No. What is the yield? 2.84%. Annualized yield is 2.84%. Mutual fund B. How much you give me? 2,500. Divided by how much investment? 1 lakh into 100. 2,500 by 1 lakh into 100 into how many months? I enter the fund on January, February, March into 12 by 3 gives you 10%. Mutual fund C. He is giving a negative. How share can give me a negative return? Same thing what? Mutual fund also has got market risk. Yes or no? No. What is the negative return? 1000 by 50,000 into 100. 1000 by 50,000 into 100 into, I purchase on what? First March. It was held for 1 month. Into 12 by 1 minus 24% per annum. Into 12 by 1 minus 24% per annum. Minus 24% per annum. Are you all understanding it or not? Now, with this we complete a solution to question number 9. Calculation of mutual fund return. Can I proceed or not? Now. So, next take question number 10. Take question number 10. So, we have finished 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Now, let's go to question number 10. A mutual fund having 300 units has shown its NAV as 8.75 and 9.45 at the beginning and end of the year. The mutual fund has two options. Pay 0.75 per unit as dividend and 0.6 per unit as capital gain distribution. For us, both are same or different? Same. They distribute for every unit how much rupees? 1.35. They say 0.75 as dividend and 0.6 as what? Capital gain distribution. Both are same in our Indian context. Can I proceed or not? Tax rates are exempt. Can I proceed? Next. These distributions are reinvested at average NAV of 8.65 per unit. Which of the two options would you prefer? Is the question. Okay. See. Now, when I invest money in mutual fund, during the year the fund gives me dividend or not? To your house you get the check from the mutual fund, or they can give automatic what? ECA, credit to your bank, etc. So the mutual fund, how company earns profit gives you dividend, so do what? Mutual fund gives you dividend, right or not? Now see, when you invest in mutual fund, they ask you a question. The question is, do you want dividend in cash? Do you want dividend in what? Cash. Or can I reinvest a dividend? Everybody following? Now, so what is the second option is very simple. First option is, suppose 10,000 rupees the fund has to give you dividend. They give you a check for 10,000. Second option is, the fund says, instead of giving you the 10,000 dividend, what they do is, on the date of dividend, there's a NAV or not? They divided 10,000 by the NAV on the date of dividend, and they were allotting in what? Units. Yes or no? Now, very simple. Yeah. Think like this. I give you 10,000 rupees check. You give me back what? 10,000 check. I allot units or not? So, instead of giving the dividend in cash, the fund can allot what? Units as dividend. Those who want me to explain once again, raise your hand. Okay, please raise your hand. I'll tell once again. See. Very simple. Mutual fund this year has earned profits. They have earned what? Profits. It declares dividend. Company can declare dividend or not? Like that, mutual fund also declares what? Dividend, because it is your earnings have to what? Distribute to you. So you are entitled to suppose 10,000 rupees dividend. How much will be given to you? 10,000. Okay. Now, normally what happens? To your house there comes a courier. How much rupees? 10,000 rupees. Your DD or a check will be what? Received, which you can encash. This is one option. The fund also can ask you, if you don't want as cash, I'll give you one more option called as what? Dividend reinvestment option. What option? Dividend reinvestment option. Where what the fund does is, today, near my data? First, okay. Today, 1st April, okay. That is why I am discussing. I am not giving you now. Today, 1st April, suppose the fund declares what? 10,000 dividend. Okay. Now, 1st April, previous, that is 1st April, after 20 is declared, that's the NAV of the fund or not? Other than the NAV, they'll divide the dividend amount. Dividend what? Dividend. Suppose the NAV, for example, is 20 rupees. How much rupees is 20 rupees. 10,000 rupees dividend. What is NAV? 20 rupees. Please tell me 10,000 by 20 gives how many units? How many units? Yeah, 500 units. Yes or no? No. So instead of giving you 10,000 share, they give you a statement saying that your units have been added by what? 500 units. Already suppose you're holding 800 units. How many units? 1,300 units. Instead of giving you dividend, they give you what are the units? Reinvested units as a dividend. Or the two schemes the mutual fund can give to its units holder. Respond yes or no? No. When you're applying for the mutual fund scheme itself will be asking you how you want to get the money, as dividend or as what? Dividend reinvestment. Based on that, it will be giving you the money. Everybody, are you understanding? Please tell me yes or no. So can I proceed further? Now, in this problem, the two questions are, which is better for you, as dividend or what? Dividend reinvestment. For me, whichever gives me what? Higher yield is better is the answer. Can I start calculating the yield or not? Now, tell me, what is the yield from the fund for me? What is the yield from the fund for me? Amount I receive as dividend plus what? The capital appreciation, NAV at the end minus NAV at the beginning. That gives me the return numerator divided by what? Beginning value into 100 into number of months gives you the answer. Response is or no? No. That's what I ask you to calculate here. Can you start or not? No. Let's start doing the problem together. Okay, before that tell me, first part, what was the NAV at the beginning of the year? 8.15. Now, last year of the year, what is the NAV? 9.45. I am holding how many units in this fund? 300 units in this fund. All this you are having in a mind or not? And during there, how much dividend they declare? 0.15, 0.6. They declare 1.35. As simple as that. Yes or no? No. So can I start doing it? Write down first. Percentage yield when dividend distributed in cash. Percentage yield when dividend distributed in cash. Percentage yield when dividend distributed in cash. First of all, are you understanding and writing? Those who are not understood mutual fund, raise your hand. Class father, I am having that suspicion. Everybody understood? Okay, I believe you. Percentage yield when dividend is distributed in cash. Up now tell me first. Appreciation in NAV. Appreciation in NAV. Tell me, what appreciation in NAV? 9.45 minus 8.75. For how many units? 300 units. 9.45 minus 8.75 into 300 units. I have my units value appreciated by, how much rupees here? 210. This is a income for me or a loss for me? Income. Okay, it is an appreciation in the asset value. It is income. Can I proceed? Now, that's all or any other income? Yes, I receive revenue income. Now what is that? Dividend receive. Dividend receive. The fund declares dividend of how much? 1.35. 0.75 from the interest, dividend, etc. earned by it. Another 0.6 as what? Capital gain distribution. Tell me 1.35 into 300 units. 1.35 into 300 units. What's the amount? 405. 405. Now, because in some batches they ask a doubt, again I ask you, it should not be a doubt, still I ask you, see, 0.6 capital gain is that, here also 9.45 minus 8.7 also capital gain. Is this 0.6 this capital gain? This is a capital gain to what? Investor, the mutual fund investor. There's a capital gain to what? The mutual fund. No. Everybody, are you follow what I am saying? Now, mutual fund is investing in shares here. The share price increases. Now, the fund is having what? Capital gain. When it sell the shares and book the gain, it is called as what? Realized capital gain. Any point number one? Yes or no? No. This is, as a fund holder, I have an appreciation in any way or not. That is my capital gain. Everybody, are you follow what I am saying? No. Next is appreciation NAV, dividend receive. For me, the total return is going to be, how much rupees here? 615. Total return is 615. This 615 is a return earned on my original NAV or not? No. What the opening NAV value? Opening is 8.75 into 300 units. Opening NAV is 8.75 into 300 units. What the opening NAV amount? 2,625. 2,625. Rumba simple. At the beginning of this year, I am holding units worth how much? 2,625. On this year, how much have I earned? 615. How I earned 615? 405 in cash And 210 in what? Appreciation in the unit value. Together you earn how much rupees? 615. Now you want to know the percentage yield or not? Percentage yield is 615 divided by 2625 into 100. Percentage yield is 615 divided by 2625 into 100. Soluppa, what is the amount? 23.43%. 23.43%. 23.43% is a return I earn if the dividend is given in what? Cash. Now, can I proceed up? Now, how much is dividend amount? 405. Suppose I get this 405 not in cash. I get it what? Not in cash, but in form of what? Units. That means this 405 should be divided by NAV or not? What is the NAV? NAV prevailing on the date of dividend declaration, yes or no? Now, the question said, take that as how much rupees? 8.65. Instead of getting 405, get what? More units. Higher units will be giving you what? The extra NAV, extra money in my hand. Respond, yes or no? Now, next is percentage yield when dividend is reinvested. Percentage yield when dividend reinvested. Percentage yield when dividend reinvested. Percentage yield when dividend reinvested. Can I start up? Now. Opening value. What is the opening value of the fund? 8.75 into 300, 2625. This is my opening balance, 8.75 rupees NAV. I am holding 300 units. My wealth is 2625. Dividend. How much the dividend declared? 1.35 for 300 units. What is the dividend amount? 405. The dividend is 405. This 405, I am going to get a check units. Units. Number of units allotted. Something, imagine like this, you get 405 dividend and then give back to them and then get what? Units. Okay. 405 should be divided by how much NAV? 8.65. Question has asked you to take it specifically. How many units? 46.82 units. Unit allotted is 46.82 units. Closing value. How many units I am having? 346.80 units. Each what how much? 9.45. 346.82 units into 9.45. 346.82 units into 9.45. Tell me the amount. 3,277. 3,277. The year beginning, I started with a wealth of how much? 2,625. By the end, it became how much? 3,277. What is the appreciation? 652. Divided by, and how much value? 2625 into 100. 652 divided by 2625 into 100. How much percentage? 24.84 percentage. 24.84 percentage. Who is better off? Person receiving as cash or as reinvested? Write down. Reinvestment option gives reinvestment option gives higher yield. 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 With this, we complete the solution to question number 10. Everybody, are you all following or not? No. Next. Take question number 11. Take question number 11. It is called as systematic investment plan. What is question number 11? It is called as what? Systematic investment plan. It is called a systematic investment plan. See, SIPs are very famous. What happens is, every regular intervals, it's like an RD. It is like what? RD. Okay. RD, what is RD? Recurring deposit. I think that you should be knowing. Where I will be depositing every month some amount in the post office or a bank. Or RD can be every quarter or half yearly, etc. At periodic intervals, I will be investing money. Yes or no? This is what we call as what? RD. SIP is something similar to what? RD. Okay. What I do is, I just enter into an SIP with a mutual fund, where what happens is, I have to invest some money at regular intervals with the fund at a constant amount. Respond, yes or no? No. Suppose I am a small investor, okay? I say each month I will invest 2,000 rupees in what? Mutual fund. How much rupees? 2,000 rupees in the mutual fund, okay? So, every month I will give the mutual fund a check for how much rupees? 2,000 rupees. Please tell me yes or no? No. What happens is, when I give 2,000 rupees to mutual fund every month, on the date when I give that check, there will be an NAV or not? At that NAV, they will be allotting the units. Everybody following? This is what we call as what plan? Systematic investment plan. This will do for what? 3 years or 4 years. Advantage is, I can, through a small savings, accumulate wealth. It's like what? RD. This I cannot do in share market. I cannot do this in what? Share market, because the volume prohibit means. Because a share price itself may be what? TCA share is what? 1,800 or what? 2,200. I cannot buy one TCA share with that money. And I cannot diversify my portfolio. But mutual fund means, when I invest 2,000 rupees in the SIP, I can invest in a full Sensex. Because like this, so many money will be got from what? So many investors. I am having a part of the portfolio for me also. Yes or no? What I am saying now. So for a person who wants to enter into equity market, but does not have a money to regularly invest, can go through what? Mutual fund SIP, where I can give a constant amount every month. They convert into units and allot you the units. Everybody yes or no? No. In this case, the dispassionate investment, what investment? Dispassionate investment, where whether the NAV increases or decreases, you will not be unhappy. Because when NAV increases, when the NAV what? Increases, you are happy because already existing units value is increasing. When the NAV decreases, you won't be unhappy because I will be allotted what? More units at the time of SIP. Yes or no? No. NAV became 20 from 15. The existing units wealth has what? Increased. Still I am happy. The NAV has what? Decreased to 10. Still be happy because I will be getting what? More number of units. So here, dispassionately, without seeing the NAV price, I make a constant investment due to which a stable return can be earned from the mutual fund. Such a scheme we call as what? Systematic investment plan. Are you following what I am saying? No. So now let us do a problem in this SIP also. Take question number 11. Do you understand the concept of systematic investment plan or not? Doubt about? What's the doubt here? Romba simple. You are giving every month 2,000 check or not? This month when you gave the check, 15 rupees, and it become what? 10 rupees. You'll be getting more units, 2,000 divided by what? 10. We'll be giving you what? 200 units. By putting you what? Less number of units. When NAV decreases, you'll be getting the advantage through what? More units allotted in the SIP. When the NAV increases, existing units gets what? Gain in value. Both ways you are going to be not so much unhappy regarding the NAV changes. This we call as what? Systematic investment plan. If I invest in one go, what happens is, when the NAV increases or decreases, I'll be affected only one way. So no, it's going to be both the ways. Is much more a stable investment rather than an investment in one shot. Can I proceed or not? Now, take question number 11. Two funds are available for investment. Fund A is being launched today on 30th September 2005 and available for investment at 10 per unit. Similar fund B, same risk profile, is also available for investment at 19.45 per unit. The information of quarterly NAV for the next 3 quarters are available as given below. Assuming that investor X prefers fund A, investor Y prefers fund B for the investment through SIP, each installment entailing rupees 200 for 4 quarters, including the initial investment, 2,000 for 4 quarters, including the initial investment. Which investor X or Y would clock higher return on investment on 30th June 2007? On 30th June 2006. Wrongly type. On 30th June 2006. Ignore time value of money. is a difference in return because of one investor that is choosing to invest at 10, other at 19.45. Closing NAV for the different dates have been given. This is a problem which is given. Can I start or not? No. See, you are an investor X. All of you, you are an investor X. You are going to invest in which fund? Tell me. Fund A. You are going to invest in one shot or in installments? Installment. How much money? 2,000. How many times here? 4 times. First to today. What is today date? 30th September. I invest 2,000. 31st December. I invest another 2,000. 31st March. Another 2,000. And 30th June. Another 2,000. 4 amounts I am going to invest starting from today. Yes or no? On all the dates, what is the NAV has been given? Ennappa right or not? No. That is no dividend and all has been received. In between that you leave it. They ask you to calculate what is the yield you earn from this mutual fund. Any question? Can I start doing the solution together or not? No. Right. Question number 11. Question number 11. Fund A date computation units. Date computation units. I want you to involve yourself. When I give my first check to the mutual fund, 30th September 2005. On that date, how much money I give? 2,000. They allot me units at how much rupees? 10 rupees. How many units is allotted? 200 units. I am getting allotted 200 units. Second check when I am giving 31st December 2005. I am giving on 31st December 2005. On that date, how much money I am giving? 2,000. They allot me units at how much NAV? 11.1567. 2,000 divided by 11.1567. How many units allotted? 179.26. Units allotted is 179.26. 31st March 2005. 31st March 2006. Third check. How much I give? 2,000. What is the NAV for allotment? 14.768. How many units allotted? 135.43. Units allotted is 135.43. Last check when I am giving 30th June 2006. How much rupees I am giving? 2,000. And they allot me at what NAV? 12.8554. 12.8554. How many units I get? 155.58. 145.58. Everybody understanding or not? No. If you see the mutual fund statement, like a passbook, they give you a unit statement. At the end of the 30th June, how many units will be having in my hand? Tell me how many units here? 670.27 units. All this you purchase on one day, given number of days. I purchase on an equal intervals, giving me a stability in ups and downs in NAV. Everybody, yes or no? No. 670.27 is the units in my hand. Can I proceed? Next. Value. What is the value of those units on 30th June? Tell me. 12.8554. In how many units? 670.27. 670.27. Tell me what is the value? What is my wealth? 8616.59. 8616.59. Rumba simple pa. 30th June, you are having in your hand how many units? 670.27 units. Somebody asks you what is your wealth on 30th June? What is the value of the net asset value? 12.8554. So your wealth is how much? 8616.59. Yes or no? No. How much I invested? 8,000. The balance is appreciation or not? Write down. Next, percentage yield is 616.59 divided by 616.59 divided by how much rupees invested? 8,000. 616.59 divided by 8,000. Tell me, I invested for how many months here? 9 months. Isn't that correct? 39 to 36 is how many months here? 9 months. Into 12 by 9 into 100. into 12 by 9 into 100 gives how much, sir? 10.28 percentage. 10.28 percentage. 10.28 percentage. Everybody, yes or no? No. This is a very, very ad hoc way of calculating what return, not accurate. No. Because I did not invest 8,000 in one day, I invest in what? 4 days. The right way is to calculate IRR. Let us calculate what? IR. I'll show you the cash flow. You can calculate IR because the rate at which discount inflow is equal to what? Discount outflow. See, if you want to calculate accurately, can you tell me my cash flows? Year cash flow. Tell me. Or you can also call as what? Month. And then what? Cash flow. Month 0, what is the cash flow? Minus 2,000. And the next is what? Month what term? Third month. That is after the what is the cash flow? Minus 2,000. After 6 months what? Minus 2,000. After 9 months what? Minus 2,000 plus what number? 8616 plus 8616.59. Yes or no? No. ரொம்ப simple. This cash flow, if I discount at some rate, the net should be 0. Yes. That is called as what? IRR, other real return. Respond yes or no? No. Is a multiple uneven. One should only go for what? Guess rate for calculation. One should go for what rate? Guess rate for calculation. And they don't ask these in the exam in mutual fund IRR and all. If they want, they'll give you the percentage. Use one of the percentage as what? Guess rate and start doing it. Everybody are following what I'm saying? I just want to tell you only the concept. You have to calculate the IRR using trial and error method. Whichever percentage gives you 0 will be the rate of return from the SIP. The question said ignore, time value of money, hence it has been ignored. Can I proceed or not? Now, all of you tell me. No need to copy this. Can I proceed further? Next. Fund B. I don't Fund B.